Hey there, everybody. I'm telling you, man, we really need to get some intro music. I'm telling you. I'm thinking maybe me, you, and Mark, we gotta, and Abe, we all get aside, and we all pick one note, and we all do, not a barber top quartet, but we all sing in different octaves, like a John Williams song, the way that they did it in that Whitest Kids You Know episode. So the bum 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 bum. I don't know. I think it'd be great, and it'd be just filler until we get a real one.
Yeah? How long do you think we would have to maintain that?
15 seconds.
15
we could have a
seconds.
really epic, mouth quartet of just sounds. We'll be the new Scatman.
Scatman.
It'd be good. Skilly scat. This is Optional Bosses. All right, I'm Kyle.
I'm Ryan.
All right, and I'm here to ask you a very important question today. When's it appropriate to let a series die?
I think it's appropriate to let a series die when you're making the fans ashamed with each new thing that comes out. And there's always, I don't know, because there's always that hope that this one reboot will redeem it and it'll be good again, but at the same time you're just kind of almost betting against yourself when you play it,
It's true. I tango with those feelings often because we live in an era of reboots and reimaginings and sequels and stuff like that. So
games that shouldn't have had sequels, like Dead Space. I really, just recently, because I'm one of the guys who, I'm in enough to the game stories that if it's something I kind of am interested in the story, but I don't want to fork over the $60, I'll watch a playthrough on YouTube. And I recently watched a playthrough of Dead Space 2, just to see, maybe I was too harsh, I gave it a bad rap. Let me see if
What was the verdict?
A verdict is, I am so glad I saved my money and didn't play that game. Not even from a gameplay perspective, even though I remember what I didn't like because I played it at a friend's house, but what I didn't like is it seemed like the difficulty levels from normal to hard were such an enormous jump, it was ridiculous, there was no gray area.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the story. It was I can't believe I'm playing something so stupid.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, it's
that breaks my heart, man.
Imagine if they made a what's a good analogy?
Because I'm really liking the first one. I'm still kind of slowly playing through it or whatever.
Right,
and how does it lose that? I mean, something must happen to this guy for you to say that the second one just couldn't happen.
No, well, it's not so much that something happens to the guy. It's that okay. What's a game that you love? That's very cut and dry. There's one big enemy you have to defeat. And,
we just say Mass Effect.
Yeah. Alright. Just imagine if instead of the story of Mass Effect 2 being what it was, the story of Mass Effect 2 was your own government decided to resurrect Saren because they thought he might be useful. But it ends up he was still evil the whole time. It's just no shit. It just doesn't make any sense. I spent all the first game killing him, and
while I was knocked out, someone's gonna...
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's gonna resurrect him. Wow, yeah, that raises questions. Who's running that government? Wow, what a train wreck. I can... There have been a lot of games lately that are getting rebooted, and there's a lot that I'm for, Devil May Cry is looking pretty good.
Yeah, I missed the Devil May Cry bandwagon, so I'm actually excited about that.
That's a game that's half and half, man. 2 great games, 2 awful games, and they went one good, one bad.
One awful one, so...
Yeah, well, it was 4, right?
Yeah.
Why would anyone even play that? Did you just see the name and everyone's like, people talk about this?
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's a comment. I can see
it looked interesting. It was. By the time I didn't play it early in my RPG gaming career, so by the time I was experienced enough where I was I could just pick up an RPG, play it, and be good at it and have fun without trying too hard.
Yeah.
That's what 4 was just one that was out around then.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, 4 sucked. Oh, it was really bad. It was not a good... You don't even play as Dante for half the game.
I know.
At the very end, you start playing as him, but by that time, I just didn't even care anymore. I'm you've already... That's like asking to cuddle after raping someone. You want to cuddle now? It's like, no! Did you just see what you just did? So, I don't know. 4 not so good. If I heard that a Devil May Cry 5 was coming out, maybe I would have been like, uh-oh. But no, they're rebooting it, and I think that this is one of those rare cases that this is an okay time to just reboot the series. And some series may even need it, if they're really not interested in just dropping the series because they've just closed off the story and they're done, but they're like, oh, there's more money to be made, let's milk this cow, It's like, I don't even know where I was going with that. That sucks. It slipped me.
Let's see, you're talking about milking cash cows?
Yeah, milking, we're gonna milk some cash cows, and,
I can think of a lot of people who do that. Dynasty Warriors do that, even though I love the Dynasty Warriors games. They're
totally.
Much of mine, but they definitely have a lot of sequels, not a lot of variation.
And the thing is that those games, I don't think you expect much change from those games, and I'm the sucker that buys those games every time. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do the Battle of Hulao Gay again, whoa! I've done that battle a million times, a million different ways, because it's in every game, just set up differently. And, wouldn't you think there was only one way to set it up? I mean, that bridge could have only looked one way, or that gate could have probably only been in one place and looked one way, but now they change it up every time. And I'm down to experience that story all over again. I could be like a 3 Dynasties teacher or whatever, where I just teach all about the romancing of 3 kingdoms and everything.
As learned by Dynasty Warriors.
You hear that, Rosetta Stone? I got my own little thing being worked out already. Koei, call me. We can make money.
Oh man.
No, but some games deserve the reboot, and I think what I was getting at earlier, where I lost my track, was that it was an appropriate thing to reboot Devil May Cry. That was a good time. Because you really couldn't take that series anywhere else. They kind of obviously didn't know where to take it, and it's obviously even more prevalent that they gave the series away to somebody else to work on it, because they were just out of ideas, apparently. And I imagine it has to do with the guy who created Devil May Cry leaving and creating his own studio. You don't even have the mind behind the idea anymore, so... But I have high hopes for this one. I think rebooting it would have been the appropriate way. 5 would have had me scared a little bit, but that's not always the case. When I see a reboot, I'm just like, what? They're rebooting this game?
What makes me...
Prince of Persia? That game did not need a the reboot that it got, it was so beautiful, but that game sucked.
Speaking of pretty games, though, one of the things that has me excited about the Devil May Cry reboot is the art style to that just looks so
cool.
crazy.
Yeah. It's not like the others either. Yeah. The old ones used to be gothic, and this one's cool. It's cool looking. It's like industrial steampunky almost. Yeah, I'm pretty interested in all that. But I don't know. Is there any other cases where you think that a reboot is appropriate, or is there maybe a particular series out right now that you should just be like, this game needs to die, don't even make another one? We were talking about Final Fantasy the other day, but I think we all have some kind of nostalgic hope that there's going to be a good one someday. I know it's kind of unrealistic, but
right, exactly. And I hate to say let it die because it's Final Fantasy. It's something you've known.
Got a lot of oomph to that name,
Right, I know, but at the same time,
not as much as there used to be. But
I mean, just the route they're going, they just seem to keep digging a hole for themselves,
Yeah. I'm not in the let it die camp for that. I know some people who are, but that's just not me. I think that they've got a name, and it's easy to market that name. Just get some new writers, some new ideas behind it. And that's the kind of case for all these types of games. If you're out of ideas, but you feel obligated to make Call of Duty 10, just hire some new people.
And
they hired someone from the Dark Knight staff or something like that to write the new Call of Duty. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow,
that was a good move.
Yeah.
I don't think he was the writer of Dark Knight. I think he was the producer or something like that. But they're either producing or writing, but they're bringing in people from Hollywood. They're trying out new things, and even though I'm not the biggest Call of Duty fan, I commend those types of behaviors, because anything to keep the cow full of milk, so we can cash cows, and we're talking about cows and cashing it.
But
those damn cows.
And and I think that's that whole running out of ideas and just recycling the same stuff. the reason why we have some of the lackluster reviews and reception for such games like Mario Galaxy 2, where like it ended up Mario Galaxy was, great. You're exploring the 3D world again, a lot of cool controls, crazy physics, and Mario Galaxy 2 is just like, well, we figured out something great, but we don't have too many more ideas, so let's like rehash a lot of the old levels.
It's pretty much the last game. It's maybe a little prettier, and the worlds look kind of different. Oh, there's suits. You got new suits. Maybe get the right Yoshi. I don't know. I feel you on that one. I thought Mario Galaxy 2 was kind of a phone-in. I liked it. It was so enjoyable, but I don't know.
I mean, just to give you a difference for me, just because I love the innovative, I love puzzly and weird. Mario Galaxy, I marathon played until I beat that game.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I did something similar. I played it at GameStop while I was working there. Me and my buddy would go over there and play the demo unit, and we had the save thing on it. And we beat it pretty fast because our GameStop was particularly slow at that time of year.
Right. But I was like collecting all the secret whatevers and doing all that stuff. But Mario Galaxy 2, I got a few worlds into it and just quit it down.
You didn't even beat it. Wow. Yeah. Oh wow.
I was like, I've done this before.
Yeah. I get that. I didn't beat 2 either, but I had already sold my Wii by that point, so I was just playing it at a friend's house. I don't think I probably would have. It wasn't like catching my attention. Because the first one had a wow factor. You're like, whoa, like this is cool, especially when you leap off a world and you start spinning to the next one. It's cool. All right, well, enough about that. We wanted to get into some more like personal questions, some stuff about us. Maybe talk about some things that we like and don't like, and today maybe talk about our least favorite genre, which I'll go ahead and start. I'm not a fan of RTS games, like not even a little bit.
Yeah.
I've tried, and I haven't tried recently, but I tried a lot when I was younger when everybody else was playing them, and by younger I mean when I'm 12 to like 15, 16, that era, but I don't know. I just can't get into them. The resource managing and the over-the-head view and just the clicking and I don't know. It's just not for me. There's just something, I can't even tell you exactly why I don't like it. It's just like, there's something about it when I play it, I'm just like, it's not registering the fun part of my brain.
Right. It's a lot.
Yeah, that neurotransmitter is off or something. The fun neurotransmitter. I don't know, but like, I don't know, man. RTS they just don't do it for me, and everyone loves them. And some
I've never been good at them, so I mean, I can understand, unless you count like the Dota style games, which aren't really the same. They're kind of
not really. They have their own genre now, though. They're called I forget what they're called. They have
they're like MOBA.
MOBA. That's exactly what they are.
I don't know what that stands for. I just see it a lot.
It's Battle Arena is the last two.
Okay.
MO, multiplayer online battle arena. Yeah, it sounds like a Japanese TV show. Multiple online battle arena.
Or an anime.
Or an anime. Yeah, it totally sounds like a manga or something. It's got the guy with the hair, and the other one's got a sword.
Doing some kind of weird pose in the front. Like,
totally, yeah. And there's always there's always lens flare somehow. Like, why is there lens flare like in anime? It's so weird. Y'all are drawn.
Yeah, there's no camera.
There would be no lens flare. This is what we come here for, to ask the hard questions, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, what about you, man? I'm not an RTS fan, but what about you?
I really don't like realistic sport games or hyper-realistic racers.
Okay.
It's just a lot of details and stat management, and I don't know, I just feel like it's not taking me outside of this world enough, which I
totally get that. Yeah, I totally get that.
Are
there any sports games you like? Do you play like Fight Night or stuff like that?
You know what? Not really. Most of my fighting games are, people shooting fireballs and,
the good old classics.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I do like some, just like, I don't really like racers, but I like, the Midnight Clubs.
Well, that's a great racer.
Yeah, I know. It's not hyper-realistic,
It's probably the furthest thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think at one point you're racing through skyscrapers.
Yeah, I know. And like, I don't like, the NBA 2K, whatever, but I enjoy, like, NBA Street.
I like NBA Street too.
Jam,
Yeah,
you know,
Blitz whenever that was big.
Yeah.
I loved NBA Street though. I like that a lot.
Yeah, anything with
NFL Street was fun too.
Yeah, a sense of flash inside, where it's like not, you know.
I always like the customizing, because I always made it like me and my friends were going out and we're gonna go play street football, you know, and like, you know, you got a big friend, and then you got me being the quarterback, and then you got, you know, someone else who's like the quick guy or whatever. It's usually just like a team of 3 or 4. And it's just like me and my buddies. We're virtually going out and playing street ball.
Yeah.
But all of the games were like that. NBA Street was like that too. You create your own characters.
Right.
I'm right there with you, man. I hate Madden. I hate any like really realistic sports games, stuff like that. I do, however, love simulation racers. I love Forza. I love Gran Turismo. I do none of the stats though.
Yeah.
I don't do any of that. I just race.
I can't figure out how the car works. I'm just like
you brake.
hitting walls.
You don't hold on to the accelerator.
But that's how you brake.
It doesn't compute. You go fast in a race. Yeah, it's just, that's why it's a simulator. You can't just do that. But I get it though. Yeah. But I like Forza a lot. Gran Turismo 5 kind of fucked me. So you know, it was just like it was too menu-y. I was in my menus all the time. I'm just like, okay, like where's the road? Like, where's that at? I want to do that part. But I get it, man. I'm not a big fan of sports games. You know, I like one of my all-time favorite sports games is Rockstar Table Tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can consider that a sport, and it's a badass fucking game too. So that game rocks. I don't know if you ever sat down and played some hardcore hours of that while drunk, but like
no,
that is an experience.
That sounds fun though.
It's just virtual ping pong. All right, you were asking something earlier. You were talking about maybe a favorite game whose primary audience were maybe a younger target, but you fell in love with it anyways.
Right.
I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to piggyback off you, because I have an idea, but it might be one that we mutually share. So.
Okay. Well, my actual, thing that I had in mind for this was Sly Cooper.
Okay, interesting. I haven't played the Sly Cooper, so tell me a little bit about like those games.
It's it's a little bit like those 2D, or not 2D, but 3D, kind of cartoony platformers. There's very little killing. And the story's a little cartoony, or not cartoony, kiddie-ish. Like, your family had these ancient secrets, they got stolen, and now people are using your family's ancient stealth techniques to commit crimes.
Okay,
and you're kind of like the noble criminal, like the Robin Hoods of the world. You do crimes to, like, restore order. That's what your family was known for.
Oh, awesome.
But what I liked about it was, first off, like, it's really hard to, make a stealth game like that, very family-friendly. But they definitely did it. What I loved about it, though, is the fact that you could play the game as a kid would, just like going to objective, and progressing through the story, whatever, and you could have a lot of fun. But at the same time, it seriously rewarded you for some really challenging, clever, difficult problem solving that's completely optional in every way, shape, and form. But even though it was optional, you got seriously rewarded for it. So, like, no matter what level you wanted to play the game at, it was fun.
Cool, and it rewarded you if you kind of went the extra mile and stuff like that too. That's kind of sick, man. The new one's coming out too for the PS3.
Right, exactly. So I'm excited. I'm probably going to pick that up and play. I played 1 and 2, so
both of them pretty good.
Yeah, both of them.
This one's done by a different. This one's done by a different developer, so it'll be interesting to see where they take that. I was gonna say a little game called WarioWare.
Oh.
It's just short little ADD mini games that last 3 to 5 seconds max. And they're just fun and ridiculous. Some of them are hilarious. Especially the one on the Wii. I had a lot of fun with that one. Oh my god, the game was so fucking hilarious. I think there was an entire guy who's like, it was a disco guy who's like, his nose was red. And he, like, acted crazy and said weird stuff and, like, was dancing. And I was like, this guy's coked out. This guy's a coked out disco guy. Like, this is ridiculous. It's a Wario game, It's insane. And, I just really like those games. They're just fun. And the ones on the DS were good. And the ones, I think there was ones on Super Nintendo, too, from, like, back in the day. And I enjoy those as well.
What's your opinion on Waluigi?
Waluigi, that dude just he's a poser, man. That guy's just like, no one even knew who he was until they're like, oh, well, Luigi needs a bad guy too. It's like, no one cares about Luigi. Screw him. It's Mario Brothers, which makes his name Mario.
Which they bring up in the movie, right?
Did they bring that up?
Yeah,
Mario, you know what Mario.
Luigi Mario.
Oh God, I love that movie, man. Seriously, it's great. Maybe because that movie came out at the right age for me, but like when I saw it, I was like, this movie's hilarious. This movie's perfect.
There's just so much ridiculous in that movie that, oh my God.
Totally.
The bombs.
The bomb. Oh my God, yeah, everyone was so freaked out with the little like wind up bomb. Oh man, that movie was hilarious. Dennis Hopper, man, he was great, and it had what's his face in it too, the guy who was Mario.
Yeah.
That guy's like an award-winning actor. I mean, like it's ridiculous. Oh man, well, it looks like we're going just a little bit over time, so we can go ahead and just wrap this up. You know, you got any last words or anything like that? Anything to touch on? Anything to pitch or?
No.
Okay.
I think we're good.
All right, now you have a bit more insight on us, so the next battle will be a little more personal, you know. But until then, button breakers, we'll see you next time. Game on.
Button